You are now listening to the Art of Winning show with your host and co-host, Eddie Truck Gordon and Miyoko Taylor, two best-selling authors. Eddie Truck Gordon is New York Emmy award-winning fighter, UFC Ultimate Fighter champion. Miyoko Taylor is a celebrity personal development coach and thought leader. Both have mastered the art of winning. It's never too late to tap into your amazing, and remember, success has no age limit.
What's up, everybody? You are back once again to the Art of Winning show. I'm your co-host, Miyoko Taylor. And as always, we have the amazing, fantastic co-host, Eddie the Truck Gordon, who just got back safely from the Professional Fighters League promotional thing. What's up, Eddie? What's going on, man?
Oh, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be here, man. I never realized how much I hate flying. I fly so often. I just hate landing and taking off. Everything else is awesome.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're back in one piece, brother. We have another amazing guest. We often say, how are we going to outdo the next episode? But this is a gentleman that I've been talking to back and forth for quite some time. An amazing, amazing guy. And I'm sure he's going to talk about something called authentic leadership today. And when you hear this guy speak, it's just going to absolutely blow your mind. So I'm going to get right out of the way. And he's going to introduce himself and tell you all the wonderful things he's done and is doing. And without further ado, Mr. Man himself, Jeff Davis, is in the building. What's up, Jeff?
Thank you, guys. What's going on? It's an honor to be here. I'm very excited to talk to you guys today. And, I'm a professional speaker. I'm originally from Connecticut, now living in Rotterdam, Netherlands. If you're not familiar with Rotterdam, it's a little more than an hour away from Amsterdam. I'm also the author of 3 books, most recently, The Power of Authentic Leadership. I do life coaching, I do some consulting, and I do a lot of traveling around the world. Love helping people, love being authentic and giving people those specific tools that they can use to break through their challenges and achieve legendary success. So I'm very excited for our discussion here today.
Man, we're excited to have you, man. It's interesting because me and Eddie talk about being authentic all the time.
Like this thing, he got all the buzzwords going, Miyoko. Honestly, everything he's talking about, I love it.
Absolutely, man. And we had a phone conversation not too long ago. Me and Jeff did, and it was one of the most intense conversations because he gave what we talk about and what our belief is. He gave it a word. He called it authentic leadership. And this phone call went on for probably over an hour and a half. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what authentic leadership is, Jeff? What does that really mean?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a topic that I'm incredibly passionate about, something that I'm an expert in, and this is something I write about, I speak about, and I know that it definitely, when applied, will improve both your life and the lives of those around you. So first of all, it means taking off the mask, showing your true self to the world. And that's a lot easier said than done. It's a lot easier said than done because it's very easy to just say, yeah, I'm going to show my true self to the world. When you do it, it's not always easy. It can be challenging. We live in a fake society. We live in a society where people have hidden agendas, where people stab each other in the back. And that's not conducive to the overall well-being of society and really people's success in general. And Miyoko, you're the perfect example. When we spoke on the phone, you were genuine. You shared your real self. You didn't have a hidden agenda. You weren't trying to sell me on anything. And don't get me wrong here. As an entrepreneur, you absolutely need to be selling your products. You need to be making a living. But authentic leaders have something that comes above money, and that is caring for others, genuinely caring for others. I mean this in a very practical way, by the way. I don't mean this in a kumbaya way. I mean this very down to earth. Look,
right.
I know you can't say yes to every request, and you can't be all things to all people. However, caring for others means not judging others. It means seeing other people's point of views, being open to new perspectives. It means actually listening to someone and understanding their side of the fence and seeing where you have mutual agreement. So I find authentic leaders tend to not have a hidden agenda. They show their true self to the world. They're caring for others. They have their why, their purpose, which comes above making money. and they're also seeking feedback from others. So they're looking for that genuine feedback from people they trust, not feedback from the haters, not feedback from people who they don't value in terms of what those people are saying. But authentic leaders care about hearing what other people have to say. They don't have to agree with everyone and everything, but they absolutely are open to hearing that. And again, that can be tough sometimes, but when you really stay grounded and stay in reality, that's how you can rise as an authentic leader. People, you won't have to ask for people to follow you. They will want to follow you.
Yes.
And then it's just a win-win collaboration. You're not above anyone. You're not below anyone. We're all equal. And from there, it's just mountaintop level success, my friend.
Geez, Jeff, you hit on some stuff that I'm sitting here salivating at the bits of my teeth, man. Like, I love it. We preach about authenticity and
all the time.
Everything you said, I feel like I'm looking in the mirror, but you're just a lot more handsome version. And it's crazy because I preach that. We're in the fakest society now. You got to realize that social media has took over marketing, took over literally the world, and people are living these fake lives. When you're authentic, you're allowed to be free, and you don't have to worry about pleasing everybody because you're yourself. We're gonna make mistakes because we're human. And the second that we're authentic, and I love the authentic leader, because like you said, entrepreneurs have to sell, but you're not really selling, you're sharing when you're actually doing it for the right reasons, for the right cause. Now I have to ask you this, because all my friends and outside world people can say, were you always this positive, influential guy? No, I wasn't. This took a long time. This took 30 years and I'm still growing. What was like that turning point for you? And like, did somebody play a role in you becoming an authentic leader, you becoming an authentic leader expert? How did you get to where you are now?
Eddie, that is a wonderful, wonderful question. I love your vibe, love your energy. This is a great conversation. And I'm going to go back all the way to when I was 17 years old, and I'll keep it, brief to a nutshell to explain how that how that helped me to arrive at that kernel of insight that led me to authentic leadership. Now, you've probably heard the term midlife crisis before. Mm-hmm. What I tell others is, your midlife crisis, so to speak, using that as a figure of speech, doesn't have to come halfway through your life. It can really come at any time. Yes. It can come when you're a kid. It can come in your teens. It can come when you're 70. It can come when you're 40. Throw age out of the equation. It can happen at any time, anywhere. And that's both good and bad at the same time. I was 17 years old. I'm going to really boil this down to a nutshell, because this is something that I'll share in a keynote speech to high schools and colleges and associations. But I was a huge college recruit athlete. I got recruited by all these top schools to play at an elite collegiate level. I was expected by all my friends and teammates to be a starter on the baseball team my senior year of high school. We had a tryout. I did really, really well. I was just crushing the ball against really difficult hitters, difficult opponents. And I ended up getting cut from the team after I had this great tryout, after being a college recruit athlete. I just did my best to boil down a 45-minute story into about 30 seconds, so I'm leaving out a lot. But that night, I was suicidal. I was at rock bottom. I had no perspective. I hadn't yet traveled the world, so I didn't really see some of the true horrors that were going on in the world. And worst of all, no one cared. People thought it was like a joke. My friends were like, whatever, don't worry about it. And even one of my friends said to me, Jeff, I have to be honest with you, no one cares. And I felt that really, really harsh judgment and sort of that feeling from other people that no one cared. And it took many, many years to reflect on this experience. So what I'd like to say to anyone listening to this is share your difficult experiences with the world to help others, because the thing that you might be most afraid to share is the very thing that will help others. And look, this is 11 years later. I'm a 28-year-old man now, and I'm still talking about this experience because I'm able to share from a place of love, not revenge. I have no ill will, and I also can share this in a way that helps other people. But that night I was at rock bottom. My best friend, or who I thought was my best friend, said, Jeff, no one cares. I had no perspective, and I was in the dumps, didn't think I could go on. After that experience and going through years and years of personal development, that really helped me to realize I don't ever want to be like those kids I went to high school with. I want to care for other people. I want to be authentic and show my true self to the world. And of course, there are many other events, but that's the big one. 17 years old, and now I use that to help as many people as I can, in addition to other experiences I share.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Yoko. I'm gonna get out your way, Yoko, because I know I keep hogging this up. Because Jeff is hitting on that. Like Jeff, you are so spot on, man. And your voice, your power, your passion, it resonates with me. I can't talk normally to people. People wonder, like, when I talk about my life experiences, just like you, I get passionate and my voice tone changes, this, that, because it's not, I'm talking about something I read from a book. I'm talking about something that we lived and we're very passionate about it. Mm-hmm. We have a very similar story, and I'm not gonna, it's not about me, it's about you today, but I love that. We have to fail our way to success. And sometimes we don't realize that we're in a small spectrum of the world. And when we can impact and change others by talking about our pain, talking about our past, talking about our failures, we're allowed to let people know that it's okay to fail. It's okay to go through hardship. And that's huge. That's so powerful. I can tell you speak from passion, and I love it. I'm going to ask one more question, Yoko, and I'll get out of your way because I got like a 15,000 of them for you, Jeff. Now, when you were going through that, were you fortunate enough to have like a mentor, somebody that can help you kind of lift you up? Because as strong as we are, sometimes we always kind of need somebody to believe in us before we actually learn to believe in ourselves. Because that was kind of how I got out of my dark period. Somebody saw a little bit of something special in me when I couldn't see it myself. Did you have that mentor? Because there's a lot of listeners listening now that some don't have a mentor, but they got to find a way to kind of get to you. So it's a double part question. One, did you have a mentor? Two, you can be a mentor because you're already an amazing human being, amazing mentor. So you got to tell everybody where they can find you. So it's a double part question. Who was your mentor? Did you have a mentor? And where can somebody get to you, see your videos, see you speaking, so you can actually be their mentor?
Yes, absolutely. So let's see if I can remember both those questions and share with you something that came up into my intuition as you were speaking. And my girlfriend is a psychologist, and she told me, after I told her this story, she said, it's almost literally impossible to get out of what you did on your own. Now, I want to be very careful because as a speaker, I know as a fact, you never want to be the hero of your own story. So I'm going to share the truth, but I'm not trying to make myself to be a hero. It's just the truth of what happened. I went to a private high school, Fairfield Prep, that was 30 minutes away from my hometown, Newtown, Connecticut. So 8th grade, I'm a popular dude. All my friends, I had friends, wanted me to go to Newtown High School. I instead went to Fairfield Prep because that's where my dad went to high school. So I was cut off. I was cut off from my Newtown friends, and I didn't make enough deep, long-lasting friends at prep to have someone to have a crutch on. My parents wanted to help, but I pushed them away when I was upset after not making the team. I had no friends, no true friends, and the people who I thought were my friends said to me, Jeff, no one cares. So, I'm looking at the rope, I'm looking at the tree, I'm thinking, I have no reason for being here on this planet, I'm a waste of life. And I had this one spark of hope that went off in my soul, and it said, Jeff, go back up to your room. And I'm meditating, and the only way I know how to describe it is from a book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I went into the light. I went into the white light. I was at my rock bottom moment. Mind you, I'm suicidal, and I'm meditating with a program by Kelly Howell named Awakening Kundalini, and I went into the white light, and that made me realize your self-worth doesn't depend on external circumstances. So that's the key insight that I learned through. Well, let's thank Kelly Howell, who created the guided meditation, which is what I did. I did a guided meditation by Kelly Howell called Awakening Kundalini. I went into the white light, and I was bathed in pure love, and I realized your self-worth doesn't depend on what other people think and the outer world.
Jeff,
have I had mentors later in my? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I got to cut you. I got adult ADD. I'm gonna forget. I love that because I listen to Kelly Howell every single night when I sleep to get my subconscious level. Nice. So that's actually wild you said that. Sorry for cutting you off. You can go now. Oh no, yeah,
I love sharing this. So no, I'm very glad you said that's a nice synchronicity there, as
yes,
Kelly would say. So that's really it. That I really really meditation, and my people introduced me to meditation, and my dad mentioned it to me. So there were people who gave me resources that I was able to help myself. I have had mentors later on in life with speaking, and for example, getting into authentic leadership. There's a guy named Chris Salem who helped me to get into this topic of authentic leadership. So he's been a good friend and also given me some great advice. And then finally, to find me, my website, jeffdspeaks.com. And if you want to find me on YouTube, just type in Speaker Jeff Davis. And of course, on the social media channels, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, Speaker Jeff Davis, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those platforms. And I'd be honored to, continue the conversation and to provide more value.
Awesome. You said a bunch of awesome stuff. I'm going to get out of the way, Yoko, because I still got like 1,000 questions. I know that we're coming close to a head over here. We got something special for you, Jeff. So I'm going to let Yoko rock over. And nice. I see them writing stuff down. So
yeah. So this is the coach in me. So you have no idea how in sync we got, all three of us are, with what's been going on, the virtual summits and the things that I've been doing. And I often tell people, the worst part of your story is the best part of your story. And one of the big major problems with society as a whole is they have this misconception that they can't be vulnerable, or they want to call it being vulnerable. But to be vulnerable is to be human. And this is what I try to get people to understand. You want sales, you want people to interact with your businesses, you want better relationships, you want better communication. You can't expect someone to give themselves, to trust you with their minds, their emotions, the actions, leading and guiding them in any area of life. You cannot trust them if you're not going to be transparent yourself, if you're not going to open yourself up. And as society, we feel like this is this negative thing to tell people about the ugly, the things in our life that we've overcome. That's where you really get the gold in. It's not being successful and saying, hey, I'm a millionaire, or hey, I have all these houses, or I'm this instant successful speaker. No, people want to know, man, what's the crap that you've gone through? What's the pain that you experience? Because this is what connects human beings one to another. It's the story that is the dirtiest. It's that particular thing, because you have a lot of people in society. Most of these people are going through the worst right now. That's a common thing. So being authentic and being an authentic leader is saying, hey, you know what? Yes, I am successful. There's a certain level of success I achieve, but you know what? I am just like you. The only difference is these accolades you may see to my name and the level of success that I achieve. But you know what? Sometimes I don't feel like talking to anybody. Sometimes I get depressed. Sometimes I get angry. They need to understand that we experience these very same emotions. And it makes me sick that society teaches us that, oh, that's a bad thing, or you're being too vulnerable. No, I'm being human. I'm being 100% authentically me. And sometimes Miyoko does not feel like talking to anybody. Sometimes
Miyoko's on fire right now.
Sometimes
you're on fire.
Sometimes sometimes you don't want to be bothered with your kids. Sometimes you want time to yourself. We are human beings. And I'm tired of this. And me and Jeff talked about, Jeff knows how I am. So this whole personal development thing, it's time that people actually step up and put up or shut up and show people that this is a whole well-rounded thing. It's not just business. It's not just communication or sales. This is about being a leader as a father, as a husband, as a business person, as a mentor, as a guide. So many different areas authentic leadership covers, man. We can talk about this forever.
No, Yoko, you hit every single key point, man. It's definitely it's underutilized. We have to focus on the now. We got to focus on actually benefiting and adding value to other people's lives and being authentic.
Right.
That's when you get to be truly free. So I don't know, Yoko, you got any other questions for Jeff before?
I don't have anything else, Jeff. You have been awesome. This is a concept and a topic that is definitely near and dear to me and Eddie.
Yes.
But the surprise of the day, every guest we have that comes on here, okay, we value the input. We value, your time coming on to the show, but we cannot leave you with a challenge. So the way that this works is, me and Eddie are going to get out of your way, And the challenge is for us too. So you're going to challenge the audience. You're going to challenge me and Eddie. Something that we can do that is applicable, that we can take right now from this particular interview, because I believe in application. Motivation is great, but you don't have any application or implementation, it's just simply hype. So leave us with a challenge and something that can add value to our listeners and ourselves right now. Stage is yours, Jeff.
Love it. Based on our discussion, what comes to my heart, mind, and intuition is to give yourself some reflection time. The amount of time is totally up to you. It could be an hour, a day, a week, even a month if that's what you need. And think about your life experiences and think about an experience you've had where at the time you went through it, you were frustrated, you might have been depressed, you were upset, maybe you were feeling down, you could have even been at rock bottom, but you ended up finding a way out of that situation. You found a silver lining, you got through it. Think about that and make sure that you've processed that experience enough so that you can share it from a place of love. Because if you're so raw, you may want to wait on sharing while you give yourself time to fully process it and to find that silver lining. But if you found the silver lining from a very, very difficult circumstance and you know that you've gotten through it, I challenge you to share it with other people. Share it in a YouTube video or in a social media post or in a blog post or perhaps in a group phone call, whatever is best for you to share. But share that difficult, challenging experience with somebody else and share it in a way that will help them and uplift them. And I promise you, you will feel amazing. You'll feel like you're using your experiences in a way that are uplifting society and the world. You'll be a leader. You'll be leading by example. You'll be taking positive, well-reasoned risks, and you will be on the front lines, pushing society forward in a way that is shattering the fake society that we live in and uplifting it to a legendary level of cooperative success.
That's awesome. I think I am so blown away. I love it. Reflection, share and reflect. Reflect and share. I love it. I think, Jeff, you might have named this show a 1,000 times over. And I'm going to do that. And I tell people a lot of times, this show is not about me. It's not about Miyoko. It's about, our guests, giving them a platform to share with the world, because we're growing at a rapid pace. But I tell people, when I do a video, man, sometimes you think I'm doing it for you, but I'm actually doing it for me too. It's my therapy. So I am super, super grateful for you, Jeff. You gave so much amazing nuggets that I'm blown away. I love it. I'm taking that challenge, to heart. And I'm super grateful for you, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for having me. You guys are awesome. It's been an amazing pleasure to have this free-flowing, authentic conversation. You both are real, and I love your energy. I love your enthusiasm, your knowledge, your success, and it's really been a lot of fun. This has been great.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks,
It's not going to be the last time. We're definitely going to have to connect again.
Absolutely.
Once again, listeners, thank you so much for listening to the Art of Winning show. If you didn't get some value from Jeff, then I don't know what's wrong with you. This was literally an authentic conversation from one of the best leading authentic leaders, Jeff Davis. So make sure you please go out there and follow him. Miyoko, take us out, whatever you got. I don't know how much more value these guests can get. They was definitely spoiled today.
Well, the only thing I have to say, everybody, is the glory is in your story. You just have to find out what that glory is. Like you said, like Jeff said, process it, reflect, and then share your story with the rest of the world. Take it easy, everybody.